The African sun beats down at temperatures that would kill most animals within hours. The sand itself can reach over 70 degrees Celsius. And yet, in the middle of this furnace, a bird the size of a small horse is walking calmly across the open plain, seemingly unbothered. How does the largest bird on Earth, with no shade, no water for miles, and a body covered in feathers, not just survive, but thrive in one of the harshest environments on the planet? To understand how ostriches survive extreme heat, you first have to understand a basic problem. Most large animals cool down by sweating or panting, but both of those methods waste enormous amounts of water. In a desert, where water might not appear for days, wasting it is a death sentence. Ostriches solve this problem with one of the most efficient cooling systems in the animal kingdom. The first trick is in their legs. An ostrich's long, bare legs are covered in blood vessels sitting just beneath the skin. As blood flows through these vessels, heat radiates directly into the air, working almost like a car radiator. This is why ostrich legs often feel warm to the touch, even when the rest of the bird stays relatively cool. On especially hot days, an ostrich can redirect more blood to its legs, essentially venting excess body heat straight into the environment without losing a single drop of water. The second trick lies in their feathers. Unlike most birds, ostrich feathers are loose and fluffy rather than tightly interlocked. This might seem like a disadvantage, but it actually creates a layer of insulating air between the sun-scorched outer feathers and the bird's skin. The outer layer can heat up significantly, acting as a shield, while the skin underneath stays several degrees cooler. Ostriches will also fluff their feathers on the hottest days to increase this insulating gap even further. Then there's the beak. Researchers have found that ostriches, like many desert animals, can allow their brain temperature to run cooler than the rest of their body. Blood vessels near the head and beak help dissipate heat before it ever reaches the brain, protecting this critical organ even when the rest of the body is under serious thermal stress. This selective cooling means an ostrich can let its core body temperature rise slightly during the day without risking damage to its most vital organ. Water conservation goes even further than temperature control. Ostriches can survive for days without drinking at all, pulling most of the moisture they need directly from the plants and seeds they eat. Their kidneys are also remarkably efficient at reabsorbing water, producing highly concentrated waste to avoid losing precious fluid. When water is available, ostriches will drink deeply, but they are built to function for extended stretches without it. Behavior plays just as large a role as biology. Ostriches are known to rest during the punishing midday hours, often crouching low to the ground in whatever shade a bush or rocky outcrop can offer. Their foraging and movement activity shifts toward the cooler hours of early morning and evening, allowing them to avoid the most extreme heat of the day entirely. This is a strategy shared by many desert-dwelling animals, but the ostrich combines its unique physiology to create a truly formidable survival system. Here's where it gets even more surprising. Some researchers have observed that ostriches may allow their internal body temperature to fluctuate more than most birds would tolerate, a phenomenon sometimes called adaptive heterothermy. In simple terms, instead of burning energy and water trying to keep a perfectly constant internal temperature, The ostrich lets its body temperature drift upward during the hottest parts of the day, then cool back down at night. This flexible approach conserves enormous amounts of energy and water compared to animals that fight to keep their internal thermostat locked in place no matter what. Put all of these systems together, and you get an animal that is almost perfectly engineered for life in extreme heat. Radiator-like legs to vent excess warmth, insulating feathers to block solar radiation, a brain cooling system to protect its most sensitive organ, water-efficient kidneys and digestion, and a flexible internal temperature that bends with the environment instead of fighting it. It is not one single adaptation that lets the ostrich rule the African plains, but an entire toolkit working in coordination, refined over millions of years of evolution in one of the most unforgiving climates on Earth. The next time you see an ostrich striding calmly across a scorching landscape, you'll know it's not luck keeping that bird alive. It's millions of years of evolutionary engineering working in perfect harmony. Nature has a way of solving problems more elegantly than we ever expect. If you found this as fascinating as we did, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the animal kingdom's most incredible survival stories.